Well, good Tuesday morning. It is about 18 minutes before the hour. And once again, thank you for your patience this morning. We've had some technical difficulties that have prevented us from bringing you some of the video that we would like to be able to show you this morning. Well, all of that said, it gives me a little extra time to explain why the storm was so bad on Saturday. For weather nerds like myself, it was just a wonderful experience. But for many, it was not only damaging, it was dangerous because of some of the high winds. It all began with some daytime heating. Cheryl and I were up cruising the Cascade Lakes Highway on a beautiful morning when we left Sparks Lake. It was about 68 degrees and the sun was out. We had a couple of little clouds. You would have never guessed that we were about to get an incredible storm. Well, the rest of the high desert for that morning and through the afternoon, excuse me, had been going through some daytime heating. That heating caused a great deal of evaporation, mainly because of our lakes and rivers and so on, but also because of rain that we had received, and the ground was still fairly saturated. Well, that rising air and the humidity going with it hit the condensation level. It's the level at which condensation takes place, and you can see that out on the high desert many times by that flat base on all of the clouds that are out there, and it starts to create these cumulus clouds that were forming early Saturday morning. To that, we added a lot of storm activity that was moving in from the south. That took a lot of moisture and pushed it in over this rising warm air. It didn't take long before the storm escalated from just a cumulus stage to the mature stage. Now, at one point, Cheryl and I were driving down the highway. We were visiting all of the different lakes, and 2 hours later, we were in the deluge of our lifetime because the storm had reached mature stage, and as it moved out of the area, it began to dissipate, and that was the final stage that you see in a major storm like this. So the cumulus stage is most noted by a fairly gentle updraft that gains strength as it goes, and this condensation that takes place above the condensation level really begins to get severe. At some point above that condensation level, you hit the freezing level, and everything above that turns to ice. And that whole rising storm is now building into a very mature thunderstorm. From the base of those clouds, which can be very close to the surface, and as they were Saturday, this storm can climb as high as the top of the troposphere, so it can be 7 or 8 miles high. Within that is all ice. And the reason that you saw green in that cloud was simply because sun shining through the cloud gets refracted and filtered, and what's left to your visibility is green through the center of that storm. This updraft can be incredible. Once it gets into the top of the storm, it can be 150 miles an hour straight up. And then it gets augmented by the fact that a mature storm has an incredible downdraft coming out of it that carries the rain and the hail with it. A lot of that ice is being formed into hail within this storm, and it falls out. And many of us saw that on Saturday. Now, a lot were saying that it turned into a tornado. It did not turn into a tornado. We did get some rotation in this storm. The whole thing started to turn a little bit because we added something to this called a mesocyclone. So it started to get the storm to turn. That is where a tornado starts to form, but we did not see one here on the high desert. What you saw was this downdraft coming out of the storm and moving across the surface at an incredible rate. Some areas saw 80 to 100 mile an hour straight line winds as a result of that storm passing through. And then it reached the dissipating stage where it was just all cold air coming out. There's no updraft in it, so the storm begins tends to die, and that whole process can take anywhere from 2 to 8 hours through the course of the day, and we saw every bit of that stage on Saturday. Well, I'm happy to say that's all behind us now. We get a nice clear run of days here. Today promising to be about the warmest day that we see during the week. Certainly off to a beautiful start here this morning. Highway 20 in Sisters, nice and dry, as are all the rest of our streets. And temps aren't too bad this morning. 45 degrees at the Bend Airport with a gentle breeze out of the southwest. Roberts Field has been equally mild this morning, a little bit cooler, but not bad. 41 degrees and a southerly breeze here. Just know that these gentle southerly breezes that you're seeing this morning, they're going to pick up and shift to the northwest a little bit. Some areas will see, Bend-Redmond area in particular, winds up to 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles an hour. Doesn't last long. We will see that subside as we get into the evening and overnight tonight. Scattered rain through the western United States. By the way, nervous eyes are kind of watching the Gulf this morning. Hurricane season officially started yesterday, and we have our first tropical storm that is in the southern portion of the Gulf of Mexico. Currently, it's pitching some rain to the north, so you're seeing some rain showers through the Gulf Coast and especially in Louisiana and Mississippi this morning. The western U.S., not too bad. We're getting some extra clouds in Southern California simply because of a low pressure center through there. From San Diego to Los Angeles, might see a shower or two, but this is not going to be a severe system. The Northwest is enjoying a nice little break, especially Central Oregon. We're in good shape this morning. Plenty of sunshine, and it looks like that's where we'll stay through the day. Look for mid-70s as we get, these are mid-70s from yesterday. We are going to see temperatures warmer than that today. Low to mid-40s to get things started. There's a couple of spots. La Pine in particular that has dropped below freezing. They're now down to 30 degrees. It's 32 in Sisters and 33 in Sunriver. Mid-30s to low 40s for the rest of Central Oregon. Future track model shows us in pretty good shape. You may get a puff of a cloud or two that'll come through this afternoon, but it's really not going to yield anything by way of showers. We'll be clear again tonight, and we can plan on plenty of sunshine over the next few days here across the high desert. This is going to turn into a pretty pleasant situation. Mild winds this morning are going to pick up a little bit out of the northwest, as we were just saying. So plan on kind of a blustery afternoon despite all the sunshine that we are going to see. Highs across Jefferson and Wasco County, mid-70s to low 80s. And for Crook County, you're going to be in the mid to upper 70s for most, but you will see a few spots that'll hit 80 degrees, and Deschutes will as well. Lows tonight will be anywhere from the upper 30s to upper 40s, so a fairly mild night ahead following this nice day. We stay warm for the next 2 or 3 days. We'll see highs in the upper 70s, mid 70s on Friday, and with a few clouds pushing in, that's kind of the leading edge of a system that'll give us a chance of rain showers and thunderstorms Friday night. That chance increases Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to drag a little bit of this into next week as well.